Okay, another signing day has come and been completed. I would say from our perspective, it went very well. No bad surprises today. Things that transpired is what we anticipated, and so no issues of that nature. I think we helped ourselves. I know we helped ourselves with two categories: speed and size. And size meaning height and length. You know, we recruited a bunch of guys, 6'4" plus guys, 6'5" plus, with big frames, big wingspans. More guys of that body type in this class than any class I can remember. And then the speed of the guys that we got. At particularly a running back, wide receiver, DB, exceptional speed. And so we're fairly certain that we've helped ourselves in those two areas. The two areas of, the one area of most pressing concern was defensive line. We signed 6 of them. If you count Tavita Bloomfield, who actually was a signee a year ago but has now joined us this semester, and then 5 new guys. So that was the primary area of emphasis. Secondary areas would be, or next up would be running back and quarterback. We helped ourselves with 4 running backs and 3 quarterbacks, added depth to those positions. And other than those spots, it was really across the board signing. I think we got helped ourselves at each position. But like I said, the 3 most pressing issues are those 3 areas I mentioned, with defensive line being the most pressing issue. Geographically, the usual footprint that we've used for a lot of years now: Texas, Utah, and California, and most notably Southern California. We feel really good about our Texas guys. We got 7 guys out of Texas this year, which is a real credit to coaching staff and primarily Morgan Scalley, who's the lead recruiter in that state. Now, there's obviously other guys that we get involved as the process goes on to go to that, make home visits and so forth. But Morgan's the point man in the Texas area. Did a very nice job. We got 4 in-state kids. Players we feel good about. We did lose a couple to out-of-state BCS conferences or BCS schools that we wish we could have got in on, but for the most part, we had a productive year in the state of Utah. And then California, I think that was our largest area. I think we had 11 signees out of California, and that's typical. Typically, that is the area of the most volume. So I think it was overall, like I said, very positive. Covered our needs. Good balance, 7 JC recruits, 17 high school, I think was the final tally. And there's also a handful of players that don't appear on the lists that will be joining us at some point in the future. With the new NC2A rules, the limit of 25 national letters, there's now 3 limits you have to adhere to. The 85 overall scholarship count that you can never exceed, the 25 new initial scholarships per year, and the 25 national letters. That was added this year. Last year it was 28 was the limit on that, which gave you some flexibility, but and prior to that there was no limit at all. And so they've screwed that down a little bit, which does not allow us now to mention some names that in other years would have been mentioned about guys that will be playing for us in the future. So questions?
What can you tell us about the quarterbacks Cox, Manning, and Thomas?
I can tell you they're very athletic. They're going to be a great addition to the 2 we have. Travis and Adam Schultz are the 2 that are with us now. Brandon is actually here, so he'll be here in spring football. Brandon Cox, athletic kid, timed in most camps, sub 4.5 speed. Good size. He's going to fill out. He's about 6'1.5". He's about 200 pounds right now, but he's going to be a 215, 220-pound kid. And so excited about him. Connor Manning, Southern California. If my information is correct, he broke Matt Barkley's Orange County passing records this year, most of those records. So he had a very prolific senior year, throws the ball exceptionally well. Good runner as well, not the type of runner that the other 2 are, but very capable runner. Then Micah Thomas is the 3rd guy from Texas. Exceptional athlete, 4.39, 40 speed, and really a guy that we're excited about as well. So all 3 of those quarterbacks are going to be adding to to what we already have at that position, and we're excited to see them all in action. Like I said, just Brandon will be here for spring football. The other 2 will arrive in summer.
Just talk about, you have 4 Utah guys, and that seems like less than in the past. Any reason, is that by design, or was it just better guys out of state?
Well, it's actually 5 when you count Bloomfield, because he's our first time in the program guy. We didn't really put him on some of the releases because of him being a signee from a previous class. But and then if you add the guys that we're going to be able to add that we can't talk about, it's going to be more like 7 or 8. And so that's about typical for us. And like I said, there's a couple that got away. Can't mention them by name, but to BCS schools outside the state that we just came up short on. But Utah is always going to be our priority, and we always want to make sure we do a thorough job in Utah first before going anywhere else.
Speed, was that the biggest deficiency you've seen in the first 2 years in the Pac-12?
Without a doubt. And we feel, if you go through, we have McCormick is a 10-500 meter guy out of Texas. Dravion Young out of Texas is second in the state in the 200 meter. Marcus Williams, our running back from Vegas, was in a 1,300, a combine that had 1,300 athletes. He was the fastest guy at that combine. So we feel like we have really made inroads into the lack of speed, and we'll continue to do that every year. That's going to be the priority.